blast rocked Bagram Airfield Wednesday. Base officials say an IED exploded near an entry control point. Marine Corporal Kimberly Crawford has the latest.
This is a Pentagon Channel News special report. I'm Corporal Kimberly Crawford from Bagram Airfield. In a suicide vehicle-borne IED attack, 3 contractors sustained minor injuries. The IED exploded outside the perimeter of the base near an entry control point. The driver abandoned the vehicle before it exploded. The driver was carrying explosives and detonated them as he ran away from the vehicle. The attacker died in the second explosion. Army Staff Sergeant Michael Barrios was on guard when the explosions occurred.
We were conducting a guard mount, getting ready to come on shift, when we saw approximately 300 to 500 meters away from our location, we heard a loud explosion and we saw a big black cloud of smoke go up. At that time, we sent all the soldiers into the bunkers. Myself and a few other soldiers ran and we got the vehicle ready, and we took commands from our platoon sergeant on what location we needed to go to, and we waited for further instructions.
It is still unknown if there were additional people in the vehicle when it exploded. No military or Afghan civilian casualties have been reported, and the 3 injured contractors are being treated at the Craig Joint Theater Hospital on Bagram Airfield. This has been a Pentagon Channel special report. I'm Corporal Kimberly Crawford reporting from Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan.
Thousands of additional U.S. troops are deploying to Afghanistan this spring in an effort to reduce attacks like that at Bagram and provide security for elections that are slated for August. But last week, Afghan President Hamid Karzai asked that those elections be moved up. Sergeant Jeremy Ross has a reaction from the Pentagon.
President Karzai's request to advance the elections revolve around the fact that his presidency is scheduled to end, according to the Afghan Constitution, on May 22nd. Well, that's nearly 3 months ahead of the currently slated presidential elections, which are supposed to take place late this summer. Now, adding a wrinkle to this issue is the fact that the Afghan Constitution also says that the presidential elections should be taking place 30 to 60 days before that May 22nd timeframe. During remarks to reporters Tuesday afternoon at the Pentagon, Defense Secretary Robert Gates said that he believes President Karzai's concerns are legitimate.
President Karzai is trying to deal with the reality that the Afghan Constitution says that his term of office is over on May 22nd. And he is very concerned, as best I can understand it, he is very concerned about, if he remains as president after that time, a concern about the appearance, at least the appearance, if not the reality, of illegitimacy in that office.
The secretary also said that he and the international community empathize with President Karzai and understand his concerns, but that it's going to be tough to hold a national election in Afghanistan ahead of that original August timeframe. He also said that he believes that a solution will be found and that come May 22nd, a legitimate Afghan government will be in place. Reporting from the Pentagon, I'm Sergeant Jeremy Ross.
And as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff helps hammer out a new strategy in Afghanistan, he's also busy improving U.S. military-to-military ties with Latin American nations. During a visit to the region, Admiral Michael Mullen is meeting with leaders of several nations. The chairman said he wants to capitalize on ties between the U.S. and various Latin American countries.
Mullen has gone from the rainforest of the Amazon to the offices of presidents already in the trip. He visited with the Brazilian Special Border Platoon and has consulted with defense leaders. He is doing this to understand Latin American leaders' perspective on the region and how they want to work with the United States.
Admiral Mullen said engaging with nations in the region will involve a range of aspects, including security, economics, and the environment. The trip includes stops in Peru, Brazil, and Chile, along with Colombia and Mexico. The Coast Guard is undergoing a massive transformation, but Coasties continue to fulfill their mission requirements. That was a message from the Commandant of the U.S. Coast Guard, who delivered his 3rd State of the Coast Guard Tuesday night in Washington, D.C.
I can report to you that the state of the Coast Guard is strong. The good news is there's never been a greater demand for our services. The bad news is there's never been a greater demand for our services.
Admiral Allen also spoke about the challenges of maintaining open, safe, and secure waterways.
Safety and security are two sides of the same coin. The common theme running through the attacks in Mumbai, India, piracy off the Horn of Africa, and the advent of self-propelled semi-submersibles in the drug trade are unregulated small boats that operate with relative anonymity.
In the face of these challenges, he pointed out some successes from the previous year that highlight the service's ability to operate joint missions with various organizations.
Working with our Homeland Security component partners, other federal law enforcement agencies, the Department of Defense, and our foreign partners, we have achieved record drug seizures and deterred mass migrations.
2008 was a year of growth for the Coast Guard as it accepted delivery of the first national security cutter and stood up 4 new logistics centers, commissioned a new kind of response boat, and a new search and rescue patrol aircraft. Coming up next on Around the Services, we continue our in-depth look at the vital role of provincial reconstruction teams in Afghanistan. But first, disabled Iraqis are given some new wheels to help them get around. Stay with us. Sergeant Ted McDonald is back with more.